Hello, guys. Welcome to Great Learning. I can see that a few people are joining in, and let's wait for 2 minutes and let's get started with the session. Yes, I can see some comments in the live chat. Yeah. So, hello, guys. A warm welcome to Great Learning. My name is Edwin Thomas, and today we'll be having an interactive session on the topic influencer marketing. So, before directly jumping into the topic, I would like to request you guys who are watching to actually say that if I am clearly visible and my voice is clear enough for all of you guys, just put a yes or no on the live chat and I'll be looking into it. Okay, Bashira Jalwa, thank you for the confirmation. So I think I'm pretty much clear to all of you. So yes, thank you, Anurag. Thank you, Pritmani. So yes, so hello guys, welcome all again to Great Learning. So today we will be discussing about influencer marketing. So before joining to this live session, if you would have read the description of the live session, the first sentence that I had given onto the description is everyone is an influencer. So I want all of you guys to actually comment on that line, like everyone is an influencer. Do you agree or disagree? Now, engaging you guys with that question, let's move ahead with the agenda or the session takeaways that you are going to have throughout this live session, right? So, so the first and foremost thing that we are going to discuss here is what is influencer marketing. So, in this topic, we will be discussing what is influencer marketing, what is the definition of influencer marketing, and we'll understand it with the very really real-time examples. So that you guys can connect easily and understand the exact meaning of influencer marketing. Then we'll be directly moving ahead with the phenomenal rise of influencer marketing. So we'll be taking like how did influencer marketing actually come into picture? When was it originated, and how is it evolving in the current times? So that is the topic that we will be discussing in the second one, and then we'll be discussing who is an influencer. So basically, there are influencers, there are different categories of influencers, or there are different slabs of influencers which are being discussed under this topic. So we'll be discussing different types of influencers in different categories and how effective are companies actually using them to actually market their products, right? So that is what we are going to discuss in who is an influencer. Now, coming to the fourth point, that is benefits of influencer marketing. So, in benefits of influencer marketing, we'll be looking into two sides. We'll be looking into the two sides. One is the company's point of view, and other one is the individual influencer's point of view. So we'll be discussing both the benefits and understand what exactly is happening when between a company and an influencer, right? Then After which we'll be moving into the different influencer marketing campaigns. So we'll be understanding the different types of campaigns that are available in influencer marketing, which companies can make use of it to increase and boost their sales, right? Then finally, we'll be discussing the best practices in influencer marketing. So this is how the flow of the course is that we are going to have today. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy. And if you have any queries or any questions in between the course, please put in the chat box, and I'll be more than happy to answer to those questions. All right. So now let's get started with our first question. That is, what is influencer marketing? So, in the introduction, I asked you guys to actually comment on the sentence that everyone is an influencer, right? So, basically, you need to understand that everyone is basically an influencer. So, if you don't actually believe in me, let me ask you a few questions for which you guys can actually go on to the live chat and agree or disagree to it. Okay. So tell me the last time when someone approached you or you approached someone when you were actually wanting to buy a new gadget or a new phone. So you went to your tech geeky friend and asked for some recommendations on it, or you went to some relatives who is really has a good knowledge of technology, and you asked him like whether this phone is good or this iPhone is good or should I move with Android. So this is one example. Someone has approached you, or you might have approached someone. The second example is that you wanted to hit the gym, you wanted to grow your muscles, and you went to your friend who was a very good fitness enthusiast and a gym freak. So you went and asked him that how do you do this? What are the protein recommendations that you what are the proteins that you take for bulking up your muscles? So these are the kinds of things that you were approached your friend and asked him whether these proteins are good, how should the workout take place. So that's the another example. Now the third example that I would like to take is that if someone is into beauty products, like if you wanted to take a very good lipstick or if you wanted to take a very good mascara, so you might have approached your elder sister, or some of your friends might have approached you for the same, like which brand should I use, which is the brand that is really nice and which is not harming the or affecting the body or skin, right? So this is exactly what is influencer marketing for you. Now, how is it influencer marketing? Now let's understand this by asking yourself a few questions. Now, the person who approached you regarding the recommendation on the phone, or the person whom you approached for actually going ahead and buying a product, that why did that person actually come to you to ask you for the recommendation? The answer to that is, first, he trusts you. There's a trust between you that you will actually recommend a good product to the person who is actually recommending. And the second one, he believes that you are actually having a good knowledge in technology, and that's why he has approached you. So these are the two reasons that the people who have approached you, or you have approached the person to actually get recommendations on a technology gadget, right? So now let's resonate these examples with the example that I had actually early given. So now think of a scenario that the person whom you approached for a technological advancement, like technological gadget, like whether should I go ahead and buy this gadget, he moved to the internet. Now, that person who moved to the internet can be Marcus Brownlee, or the India's famous technical Guruji. So these are the people who actually give recommendations for tons and thousands of gadgets and technologies to throughout their YouTube channels, and so many people are getting influence. So this is how influencer marketing. This is how you resonate the same the tech geeky friend of you when he moved to the internet. He can be the Marcus Brownlee or the technical Guruji who is currently influencing tons of people on new technology and new gadgets that you can buy, whether to go for Android or whether to go for an iPhone. So these are the kinds of topics they create, right? So now coming to the second one, your gym enthusiast or the fitness enthusiast friend, when he moved to the internet, he could be the beer biceps who actually recommends proteins for your body so that you can bulk up your muscles. So this that the gym freaky guy, like the gym fitness guy, can actually move to the internet and create good protein recommendations and influence people. Now coming to the third example that I had given is the your elder sister recommending on beauty products. So basically, she also moved to the internet, and now she has become a very, very popular personality, that is Kylie Jenner, who herself has a beauty product company. That is Kylie Jenner Cosmetics, right? So this is how influencer marketing. This is exactly what is influencer marketing. So now coming to the to sum all this up and end it with a definition of what is influencer marketing, we have influencer marketing is the practice of engaging industry experts with active networks to achieve measurable business goals. So basically here, what are we referring to? Engaging industry experts. So basically industry experts have the legitimate products that are to be sold, and the active networks is the influencers, the audience that the influencers bring in. So when the engaging industry experts and when we engage these both, the amount of audience reach that you get, the product is being visible by the influencers audience, and then the company can actually achieve the measurable business goals. So that is exactly what is influencer marketing for you. So if you have any doubts during the session, please put it on the live chat. I'll be more than happy to answer it. Okay. So now moving ahead with the next topic, that is the phenomenal rise of influencer marketing. Now, influencer marketing is has come recently, has gained so much of hype, but to know that, like, it was already in the evolution process. So basically, we here will be discussing the phenomenal rise of influencer marketing, right? So here there are four phases that influencer marketing actually had come up with. So here, for discussing the first phase, I'll be using a small story. Who doesn't enjoy stories, right? So the phase one is the pioneers. So basically, the pioneers means the people who actually originated or gave birth to the concept of influencer marketing, right? So under that, we have a small story that is titled "Her Majesty's Potter." So now the story goes like, there was a famous potter that was known as Josiah Wedgwood. Now he was very good at his artworks, and during the time of 1765, there was a queen called Charlotte, and she was the one who actually had ordered a piece of art from the potter that was cream in colored, and she had given the potter a very good approval. Now the potter, being very, very clever, he knew that the queen was the ultimate influential person in that time. So, with the queen's approval of his art, he actually got a title, that is Her Majesty's Potter. Now, since he was a very clever potter and also understood that at that point of time, the queen was the most influential person that he can ever have, and she has given him a title of Her Majesty's Potter. He then started to give the pottery works a name that queens wear. So he leveraged the title that he gained from the queen, and he named the pottery work as his queen's wear. So now, as soon as he changed the pottery works to queensware, tons of people started to flow into his shop for his pottery works, and that's where the birth of influencer marketing actually began. So that's how the pioneers, the potter, Josiah Wedgwood, we can say that this guy was the person or the reason that the concept of influencer marketing began. Now, discussing about the second phase, that is fictional characters. Now, fictional characters It was the Coca-Cola company that actually brought in the concept of using fictional characters to influence people. Now, the Coca-Cola company during the time of Christmas actually used Santa Claus, the fictional character, to actually indulge in the marketing campaigns that they started. So what was their idea was during the time of Christmas, the we are all waiting for Santa. That's what all people believe, right? So they used the fictional character of Santa Claus enjoying a bottle of Coca-Cola drink, and that's how they created a marketing campaign. So that marketing campaign actually helped them gain so much sale. This campaign helped them boost so much of revenue, and that's how the phase two of influencer marketing was used by using fictional characters. Now coming to the phase three, that is celebrity endorsements. Now, a certain group of people started following a certain very few number of people for their kind of work or the kind of passion they show to their work. So basically, these people are the people from the sports industries or Bollywood industries or even the singing. These are the kinds of people who people started following them for their kind of work they did. So so these people became more and more influential because of their amount of fan following or the follower base they got. So what actually companies saw that they have a huge fan following on their social media platforms. So what companies actually did is they started collaborating with these celebrities and started to think that if we could collaborate with these celebrities to actually showcase our products, then there will be a huge audience range that we will be getting. Right. So what actually they did deals with these celebrities so that the celebrities could vouch or advocate for their products, and then the audience could see through this, and this is how the phase three of influencer marketing came up. All right. Now coming to the phase four. Now, the phase four was the one of the most, you can say, the rapid growth of influencer marketing, because the social media platforms were also very much rapidly increasing. The user base was increasing. The social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Pinterest, Twitter all were gaining so much of user base, and that average amount of time that people are on these sites are very 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 huge. So what exactly happened, the celebrities already had huge fan following base, but there was another set of people who actually started gaining so much followers, that are the normal ordinary people. So what are these normal people started doing is like they started posting their everyday live content or every day of their life onto the social media platform, or they started discussing or sharing knowledge about any particular niche. Maybe a photographer started putting down content on how to take good photos, what are the frames that you have to keep, how do you have to place, what are the good ways and designs or the lighting that you have to keep, or some other people are sharing good recipes on YouTube or Instagram. Some few people are very much interested into bikes, and they talk a lot of things about the bikes and their gears, the helmets, what are the good for them and what are not good for them. So this is how the exactly how so much amount of people actually started making creating content. Now in the present situation, content is the king. Like if you are able to create content, then you can become an influencer. You can just start creating content on any particular niche, and you just have to keep on creating content until and unless it clicks on. So that's how the phase four of influencer marketing actually took up, and so much of content now there on all the different types of social media platforms, and even so many video platforms are coming up. After the ban of TikTok, there came Josh, Moj, and now another new video platform has been kept for approval. So that's how the phenomenal rise of influencer marketing started, with the Potter's story, then the fictional characters, and then celebrity endorsements, and then when normal people actually started gaining so much followers. Right. Now, so we actually understood the flow of or the rise of influencer marketing. So now let's move ahead and understand who is exactly an influencer, right? So the ability of a person to have the potential to have an effect on the buying choices of people due to his or her knowledge, authority, position, or relation with his or her audience is known as the influence, and the person who has all this is known as the influencer. Right, so that's exactly what who is an influencer. He must have an influence with his knowledge or authority or the relation or the position amongst his audience so that he could actually create an impact on the buying decisions of people. Now, if we had to segregate or categorize the types of influencer, it is like the number of followers. It can be on that based on the type of content they post, or also in the level of influence, right? So let's discuss each of them individually. So let's first discuss an influencer based on the number of followers. So on the basis of number of followers, basically, influencer can be categorized into four. That is mega influencer, micro influencer, macro influencer, micro influencer, and a nano influencer. So let's take up mega influencers. So basically, a mega influencer is kind of a celebrity status. Like he or she has more than 1 million to even 150 million or 300 million subscribers or followers in any of the social media platforms. So these are the people who gets contacted with big brands like Gucci or big brands like Puma, Nike for sponsoring or creating content on their side. So there are these people usually gain popularity in particular industries, as we discussed earlier, like in the cricket industry or in the Bollywood, Hollywood, or in the singing industry, music industry. So these are the people who have this celebrity status. Now, coming to the second type of influencer, that is macro influencers. So, if you take macro influencers, it is also like a B type celebrity. Like it's just like a one step below a mega influencer, right? So, these people actually have a celebrity status and a fan following of around 400K to 1 million followers, right? So basically what actually happens here is you companies can find can interact with mega influencers, but there are so much more micro influencers that companies can easily contact with, right? So micro influencers are many, and most of the macro influencers actually deal with any particular niche, or they can actually work on some particular niches. So for a company to get macro influencers than mega influencer is easier, right? So because the number of people who are a macro influencers are more, and due to mega influencers pricing ranges, macro influencers are also preferred by companies to advertise their products. So that's there. Now, coming to the third category, that is micro influencer. So now who is this micro influencer? Now micro influencers are normal ordinary people. So how did these people start getting so many followers? So these people generally start off small. They can get famous. They have around a follower range of 10,000 people to 400,000 people. So these are the people who are normal, ordinary people who started creating content on any particular niche. For example, photography, cooking, or bikes, cars, anything, any particular niche. So due to their unique content that they post, then they started gaining followers. For example, if a person is creating how to click good photos through a normal camera phone or even a DSLR, how to create, how to keep the lightings, how to set your camera frame to this FPS and all these kinds of things. So the people who are actually interested into photography, or who people who are actually interested into bikes, if the person is talking about which kinds of bikes and what are its special qualities, so these kinds of people follow that particular influencers, right? So now what companies can gain out of here is, the companies can actually contact these influencers and actually put in their product to for selling. Now, what happens if that person is into photography? A company can come to the person who is dealing with photography, like who is an influencer in photography. He can come in and like say, please vouch for this product and please review this on your channel. So his audience will definitely go there and see that this is a camera, this is a company, and he is getting to know the different models that are coming from this company. So this way even the influencer is also getting benefited, and also the company is also getting benefited. Now coming to nano influencer. Now, nano influencer is like recently got its recognition as a as an influencer. So basically, these people are actually having specialization in very obscure or very narrow topics. So what companies can actually do is like companies who produce these high specialized things can contact these kind of influencers to actually watch for their products. So these influencers have a very small follower base because this is a very highly specialized people who talk about that obscure things because of this high specialization. So companies can actually, if their products are dealing with those highly specialized things, can contact these influencers to actually create an awareness about the product from this company. Right. So that's how the influencer is based on the number of followers. Now, coming to the type of content that they create. Now, on the basis of content, influencers are categorized into three. So that is bloggers, YouTubers, podcasters, etc. Right? So now, if you had to talk about bloggers, so how are they connected to or related to as an influencer? So now, if you had to, if you are searching regarding a product that you want to buy, if you're looking for a product or a gadget that you're buying, if it's a DSLR or a mobile phone or even a bike, you go on to Google and search for the best photo cameras to buy, best phones to buy, and you can see there are a number of blogs that come in. So imagine when the person who has written a blog and his blog is ranking on the top, and when he's actually acting as an influencer because his content is already ranking top in the Google Analytics. And now when companies actually want to advertise their products on internet, he can actually contact this blogger and actually tell him to put a review of the product of the company on his blog, which is already ranking first. Now what is the advantage that the company is getting is the Google has already ranked his blog in the first, and people are started feeling that this is a helpful blog. So next person who comes into the blog and visits his blog and sees this product, he's definitely going to read about it, read about the company who has actually who he has vouched for, and he will look into that this blogger is actually telling the like his blog is ranking well, and his content is also really good. So the company's product also might get sold if that person is really interested in buying the product, right? So that's how even bloggers actually act as an influencer. Now coming to the second one, YouTubers. So now tell me the last time you guys actually went forward and YouTubed like before buying a product. Like you might have Googled or YouTubed about a product for buying an iPhone. Like what are the special features? I hope you guys are following that. If I am actually going to buy a product, I definitely will go ahead first to YouTube, go into like which phone I want to buy. If it's a OnePlus, I go to OnePlus 9R. I go to YouTube, read the reviews, seek advices from the experts, and then go ahead and even take a decision. So that's how YouTubers act as influencers. I am pretty much sure, guys, that you guys have done the same. Even you guys have done the same. So that's how YouTubers also have a very good influence over the people. So basically, YouTubers like Technical Guruji or the Marcus Brownlee, MKBHD, or Tech Geeky Ranjit. This is not a promotional. Like these are the people who are actually into so much of technological gadgets, right? So now, when companies approach them for vouching about their product in their content, so they get sponsored ads in between their content. So YouTubers actually get paid from the companies for actually talking about the product of the company for 30 seconds, and they can actually vouch for the product and tell that this product is really good and they have used and tested it also. So this way YouTubers can also influence a large community of people, right? So now coming to the podcasters. Now the podcaster is a recently it has hyped up so much into the online content. So basically, in podcasters, people bring in so many people bring in influential people or experts in particular niche. So if a person is a podcaster and he brings in a person who is well into a film industry and he talks about how to take films, and in between the podcaster actually the interviewer actually asks him about regarding a product, he can inject a product or a product review into the podcast, which can actually influence a lot of people who is actually hearing the podcast, right? So that's how even in podcasting is also a type of influencer marketing that has been currently being used. So that's the based on the type of content. Now moving ahead, if you guys have any questions regarding the topic that we are discussing related to influencer marketing, please do comment down. I am looking into your comments one by one, right? So based on the level of influencer, that is the next one, that who is an influencer based on the level of influence. Now based on the level of influence, there are two categories like celebrity and key opinion leaders. Now, celebrity. Now, if you have to talk about celebrity, there's one issue when we are actually involving celebrity as an influencer. So, what is the issue is when companies actually approach a celebrity, and it's no doubt that a celebrity has a very huge follower base, like it may be around 10 million to 20 million followers as their fan base, right? So, what is the issue in involving or taking board a celebrity is the amount of audience or the target audience might not be very refined. So, for me, let's take an example. Now, Sara Ali Khan, the female actress, when she does a commercial on beauty products or any of the beauty product like mascara, lipstick, or a face cleanser or a face wash, it feels genuine and she has the authority, knowledge, and her industry is related to that, right? So people can get influenced with respect to her audience and with respect to her knowledge and position she is in with when she actually gives an ad on a beauty product. Now consider the same Sara Ali Khan giving financial advices to people regarding insurance policies. So there is some lack of credibility there or lack of reliability over there. So that's when you actually have to look into look into a person before you actually host him as an influencer, right? So that's why there is an issue while we bring in a celebrity as an influencer. Now, coming to key opinion leaders. So, basically, key opinion leaders are the people who are actually into the professions of journalists, academicians, industry experts, professional advisors. So, these are the people who comes into key opinion leaders, and they are actually considered to be a influencer because of the qualification, experience, and expertise. These three are the things that actually made them influential because they have created a reputation amongst themselves so that they could influence people. So, that's how you actually look into the influencer because key opinion leaders have their reputation amongst themselves. Okay, so now what is the issue that companies face with key opinion leaders is that these people might have actually gained popularity offline because of their expertise or industry expertise or experience amongst the industries or the qualifications they have. So what they have to do, they have to figure out a way that they could influence the people through their channel or their through a society wherein people are more, the person is known but the follower base is not good. So these people are those kind of people who has a very good influence and a reputation, but they might not be very good or very much into social media platforms. So, as a company, as an influencer marketer, you need to approach them with a different strategy. So that's how you actually look into the understand the different types of influencer based on their influence. So that's the three different ways that we have discussed, like who is an influencer. So, hello, Alpha. So, you have asked me a question like how to approach influencer if someone wants to advertise them. A very good question, Alpha. So, basically, you can go on to Google and just search tools for searching influencer marketing. There is Avaria, Clear. There are so many list social media tools that actually help in finding you the influencer who are working in that particular niche. So you just have to go to Google and search for social media listing tools for finding influencer, and there are so many tools. There are you can the thing that you will first find is the seven social media listing tool for finding influencer. That is the first thing that you will be seeing. And the first tool will be Avaria, then we have Clear, and so many other tools which will actually help you finding the influencer. So I hope I have cleared your doubt, Alpha. Yeah. So moving ahead, now let's understand what is the benefits of influencer marketing. Now, while we talk about the benefits, I'll be talking about in both the contexts, that is the company's point of view and also individual influencers' point of view, right? Now, let's take the first point in company's point of view. Now, easy to build trust. Now, let me ask you guys a question. So just tell me when if someone comes to you and if there are two people, one is your good friend and one is a stranger, right? Now the good friend comes to you and tells that this is a really good phone. You could actually use it for your day-to-day purposes and it doesn't even lag. Now that good friend might be not very well versed in the tech stuff, but he's really a good friend of yours. Now, another stranger comes to you and asks you that you could actually take this product instead of that because this has more technical stuff, this has more screen speed, the RAM is good, even the graphics are very nice. But then since he's a stranger, but he might have a good knowledge on the tech stuff. Now you guys have to tell me who are you going to trust? Your close buddy who has been with you for so many years and he is recommending a product to you, or the stranger who just walked by and told that this is a good product that has come to the market and you could actually buy this product. So I want you guys to actually answer this question on the live chat. So who would you actually go? A person, a good friend of you who is recommending the product and who is actually recommending a good phone to you, or a person who is a stranger who comes and approaches you? I am waiting for your reply in the chat. Okay, so I don't see so many replies, so I'll tell you the answer. Basically, you might go to the good friend or good buddy who was with you. But now let's resonate the same situation. Now, that good friend of you is actually a very big influencer, and the stranger who came to you with a new product is actually the company. So actually, what was the question is who would you actually go? who would you actually go and buy the product if of your close buddy whom you know for so many years actually recommends a product, and a stranger comes to you with a new product and says that this is also a good product. The stranger might also have a very good technical knowledge on new advanced technologies. So when you resonate the same situation in a business organization, the good friend of you will actually act as a big influencer, and the stranger would actually act as the company. Now, when the stranger and the good friend of you comes together, and then these both work together and then tell you to buy this product, you will definitely get the best product, right? So that's how exactly influencer marketing actually work. So these companies, if you resonate with the stranger is the company and the good friend of you is the influencer. So when these two people come together, it's very easy to build the trust. And that's exactly what is the first point, that is company's point of view when they inculcate influencer marketing. Now, coming to the second point, that is improves brand awareness. Now, improving brand awareness, when you are new to the market, it's very difficult to create an impact of your brand, because you might require a huge amount of capital to actually publicize your brand over the television or billboards, etc. But influencer marketing actually cuts down the cost so much. You just have to contact an influencer, and you would actually get so huge amount of audience that he has grown through his content and his engaging content. So the people who has been following him trust him, and he will definitely look into your product and understand what your products does, and then he'll start to give product recommendations for the company's product. Though this way your brand is getting visible to a very huge audience through different influencers that you are getting contacted to. So this is actually helping you cut down so much costs on advertising, on billboards, on televisions. Rather, you could use influencers to actually market your products, right? Now, coming to the third point, that is fills the gap in your content strategy. Now, when you talk about filling the gap in the content strategy, so there are so many marketing campaigns a business organization run. So, but when you look into influencers' creative mind, as an organization, there are so many business regulations that will be taken care to run a campaign, right? So, when you are actually collaborating with an influencer, it's actually fills the gap in the content strategy. That's because the influencer knows the current trends, what are the people actually liking regarding the content on the YouTube, on the Instagram Reels. So the content that needs to be shown to the people, the trend that needs to be shown to the people, these are the expertise that the influencer might have an idea about, rather than the marketer who is marketing the product. So when a company approaches the influencer, it actually fills the gap in your content strategy that you need to get marketed, right? So that's how it fills the gap. Now, coming to the efficacy on the audience reach. Now, the whichever influencer that you are going to contact, he has actually created so much trust amongst his audience, right? So the amount of content that he is creating, or whatever content that he created, is it's because of this quality content that these people actually started following him. So the people who are actually following him already trust him on the kind of content he works on. So when a company comes and collaborates with this influencer, he is definitely going to check with the product and then give a review about the product. So if the person is into photography, as we use the previous examples, so a company who's selling cameras can contact this influencer and actually tell him that to vouch for, advocate for this product. So what actually happens is he has already created an audience that are interested in photography, and they want to know a lot more of photography. And when the company who is selling the product of a camera comes and collaborates with him, the when you look at the target, all his audience are into photography, they are interested into photography, and the company comes him and shows this product to the audiences. So that's how you actually increase the efficacy of the audience, the conversion rates. So there are so many people that watch television, from babies to even grown-up adults. When you show a promo on the TV, a small kid will also see the car's advertisement, and his parents will also see the car's advertisement. So there are so much different variety of audience that is getting that the ad is getting to. But when you are actually using an influencer who is working on that particular niche, you are actually influencing the exact right target, and that's how efficacy of the audience is increased. Now coming to the individual influencers point of view. Now, as an influencer, you are when you start off, there is so much of a taboo that he's working into creative content, and when you start creating content, and then finally you reach to a point when companies are approaching you, that's how you get recognition and respect, right? So that's what everyone wants, recognition and respect for the work that they have been doing for the years. And the other benefit is gifts. So basically you might get gifts or goodies from the company that you know need to return to it, because they give it to you for the review purposes, and you guys can take it for your personal use as well. So that's another thing. And the third one is remuneration. Some of the influencers get paid for the content they are posting regarding the product, right, on their channels. So these are the three benefits that they get out of being an influencer. So that's the influencer's point of view. Now coming to the last point, that is a win-win situation. So now why I am saying that it's a win-win situation is because when you look into the company's point of view, the company is able to get the desirable audience. They are getting conversions from the desirable audience. And when you look into the individual influencers point of view, they are getting the three benefits, that is recognition, goodies or gifts, and remuneration. So it's a win-win situation for both the company and also the influencer. Now, when you come to the customer, like even the customers are also in a win situation, because the company is having good products, and the influencer whom they trust are when they are actually coming in together, you are getting the best product. So that's how even the customer is winning in this situation, and that's why influencer marketing is really, really helpful. So now, moving ahead with the next topic, we have different influencer marketing campaigns. So, here we'll be discussing the different campaigns that influencer marketing or influencer marketer can actually look into. Now, the first one is giveaway and contest. So, giveaways is one of the most common influencer marketing strategies that the influencer marketers use. So, one of the very crazy example that I have taken from the Instagram channel of Ananya Pandey is the contest example. So, basically, here Ananya Pandey is actually telling her audience that there's a contest of Sketchers India and they are searching for original creators. So this way, Sketchers India is actually getting a huge amount of audience reach through Ananya Pandey's followers, and through the contest and through the posts of the contest, the visibility of Sketchers India is actually increasing so much times. It's increasing n number of times. So that's how a giveaway or a contest actually works for an influencer marketing campaign. Now, coming to social media takeovers is something very new, wherein an influencer actually comes into the company's profile and uh, takes a live session regarding any product or regarding any topic, or even it comes to the on to the company's profile and actually post content for a week regarding the same product. So the special thing over this is that Snapchat has a feature wherein you don't, as a company, you don't have to give away the login credential to the influencer. So it can actually has an option wherein the influencer can take over without even actually giving entering into the platform of the company. So, but in Instagram and Facebook, they will have to give it the login credential to the influencer to actually talk about the product recommendation. So social media takeover is more usable in Snapchat. because of that small security issue. Right. Now coming to affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing is something like when an influencer actually when a company actually provides influencer with a coupon code, and every time that coupon code is used by a customer, the company gets a sale, drives a sale, and the influencer is getting the commission. So that is one of the most feasible way of using an influencer to actually drive a sale, that is affiliate marketing. Now coming to the next point, that is sponsored posts and blogs. So you might have seen in your Instagram ad as well that they may have a sponsored symbol on the top, right? So basically, you need to understand that you might have a very good product, but no one is going to come onto your door, knock onto your company's door, and ask for that. Do you have this kind of product? You must be visible to the general public and show them that this is the product that you are having, and this can solve these issues. So that's how sponsored posts from the influencers can actually create a huge impact in the visibility of the brand and the company. Right. Now, coming to the next point, that is gifts and unboxing and reviews. Now, basically, as a company, they send a lot of goodies or gifts, or even unboxing. They give it to the influencers so that they can create a video of them unboxing the video product, and then sharing their first look or review about the product as well on their social media platforms. So basically, it may be YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. So these are the different platforms they could actually use to unbox these gadgets. So while reviewing, they would give their honest feedbacks, and this way they actually what actually the company is doing is actually creating a brand awareness that this product is into the market, and these are having these kind of specs that the influencer is going to talk about. So this way the visibility of the product is increasing. Now, coming to the last one is the brand ambassador. So basically, a brand ambassador is the face of the brand. For example, if you have been following Virat Kohli, he is the brand ambassador of Audi India, and he keeps on posting about regularly about Audi India, right? So for recently his post on the Audi India, that was e-tron. So basically the electric vehicle mobility of Audi, that's what he was vouching about, and the special features that that the car has that is going to be getting launched, right? So that was the post that he was talking about, like paid partnership with Audi India. So that's how the brand ambassador program also works well. So that's all about the different influencer marketing campaigns that you guys can look into. If you are having small businesses, small business can actually look into contacting influencers and telling them to actually vouch for your small business so that your sales and revenue increases. Now I'll just check on to the questions if you guys have any questions. All right, I don't see any questions, so let's move on. So now coming to the last topic for this live session today, we have the best practices in influencer marketing. Now, while talking about the best practices in influencer marketing, we first have the most important point, that is figure out the most appropriate influencer. Now, when you talk about the most appropriate influencer, I took the example of the celebrity. You need to understand that as a company, you should not actually go back to the amount of audience that the influencer has. You need to understand the amount of good audience or the refined audience that an influencer has. So if a company who is selling camera, for the same of sake of example, same camera, he is going to a celebrity and telling him or her to watch for the product, and then she or he might have a huge audience for which she will be charging him a lot of money. But in the same time, if you just move ahead to an influencer who is particularly working on camera and the types of who actually creates content on photography and video shooting or editing, so when you approach this influencer, the amount of money that he is going to be asking for it will be less, and the audience which he has, the audience which he has grown from his content, from his engaging content is more refined, and that would actually hit the target like a bow and arrow. Like it will be on target when the company who is selling a camera comes to a influencer who talks about photography and video shooting. So that's how the first point, that is figure out the most appropriate influencer for anything that you are working on that particular niche, right? Now coming to the second point, that is analyze which platform to focus on. So basically influencers might have different platforms wherein they have different amounts of influencers or different amounts of followers, right? So you need to analyze and come to a conclusion with the influencer that this platform actually deals with these kinds of product ads, and these platforms we could push in the posts regarding the same. So you need to analyze which platforms to focus on so that the visibility of the product or the brand is massive and huge, and it could actually get feeded into the people's mind. So that's something that you need to analyze as a marketer and an influencer to post relevant content in relevant platforms, right? Now third one is maintaining authenticity. Now you need to understand that uh, maintaining authenticity is really important. When a brand is authentic, people actually trust it. When there is a trust, there is a sale. So that's what they say: when there is a trust amongst people or amongst a brand, there is a sale. So you need to understand, or you need to figure out that if that influencer whom you're contacting might have a huge amount of follower base, but he also must have the grounds to actually recommend a product that your company is selling, right? So you need to understand that whether the influencer is actually into that particular niche. So if an influencer is not into that particular niche and he is vouching or advocating for the product, there is some lack of authenticity, that is lack of credibility when that influencer is doing it. So the audiences might not feel that very authentic, so that the influencer is actually doing it for the money. So you need to actually, instead of contacting even mega or macro influencer, you can come down and contact the micro or the nano influencer in doing so. Because when you are contacting nano or micro influencers, the amount of audience that they are having is refined and is working on that particular niche, right? So there will be authenticity in what the influencer is talking about, and there will be actually good number of conversions when you have to, when you actually compare with it with when you actually collaborate with the mega influencer. So that's why you should always maintain authenticity. Now, coming to the fourth point, that is reward your loyal customers. So basically, if you every company has a loyal customer. I am a very loyal customer of Nike shoes because I love the comfort and the designs they produce. So I sometimes post some good videos of the shoes on my social media platform. So this way, when you actually do this, when companies actually see this, when I am tagging their Nike shoes India, so they can actually reward their loyal customers who have been following or buying the product. So when they do this, they can actually reward the loyal customers by giving the next model to them free of cost, and telling them to shoot a small video as a favor or a gesture onto their social media platform. So this way they actually build a very happy community. Now coming to the fifth point, that is always be updated with the relevant issues on your niche. So when you are actually collaborating with an influencer and the post comes onto her his or her channel, there will be some comments on his or her channel, wherein you will have to address the general public. So you need to always be updated on the relevant issues in your particular niche, so that you don't fumble up or you don't have to think twice in while writing down answering a query, right? So you should always be very much updated onto that particular niche that your company is working or your product is in line to. So always be updated with that relevant issue. Now, coming to collaborate, plan, and build a happy community. Now, that's a very important point that each and every businesses have to take care of. Like, you need to collaborate with your influencer that you are in contact with. You need to plan accordingly with the influencer and give a creativity control to the influencer, because at the end of the day, he needs to fill the gap in the content strategy, right? So you need to give that leverage to the influencer, so that he can be more creative with respect to the content that he's creating. And at the end of the day, you need to address the queries on the Instagram posts or the videos that the influencer has put onto the video, and addressing the queries to the general public and build a happy community. So when there is actually a happy community, there will be a very good amount of sales and revenue. So that's how you have the last point, that is collaborate, plan, and build a happy community. So that's all from my side today. So these are the best practices in influencer marketing. So if you guys have any doubts regarding the same, with the respect to influencer marketing, you guys can go here. Now I have exceeded my time. It was till 5 o'clock. I'll be waiting for 2, 3, 4 minutes max, so that if you have any queries regarding this topic, I could answer. I'm looking into the live chat right now. So there was one question that was how to approach influencers if someone wants to advertise with them. So I've already answered that. You could actually go on to Google. There is a social media listing tool that is Avaria or Clear, wherein they actually help you to refine influencer based on that particular niche. So that's already been answered. If is there any other question with respect to influencer marketing? Yeah. Great matter. Thank you. Great session, sir. Thank you so much. Hello, hello, Bhavik Shah. Hey, hey, Mant. Hi. All right, guys. So I don't see much questions from your end. So I'll be closing this live session right now. Okay. So yes. So that's all from my side. If you guys have enjoyed the course and if you enjoyed it all the way through, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Go ahead and give a like button if you have loved the content which I have been presenting. And I'll be back with another content and course very soon. See you.